Yo, YouTube, this video is titled Charlie Kirk Shooter's Boyfriend Found. I didn't know that he had a boyfriend. Let's get straight into it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. It has recently come to my attention that as of an hour...
Wait, isn't this the guy? They saying this is his roommate. Didn't they say this was the original shooter, the person who posted like a SoundCloud link or some shit? Am I bugging?
Ago, Tyler Robinson, the shooter of Charlie Kirk's roommate and partner, has come out to the FBI and has basically snitched on the guy. Apparently, the FBI has identified Tyler Robinson's boyfriend as some kind of transgender furry who possibly aided in...
Transgender furry? Hold on. That might be a method. Hold on.
and abetted Tyler Robinson in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably going to be the last video I'm making on the subject. Probably not. I don't know. You know, as I've been covering this case...
I need to see, can we see some receipts, bro? I feel like they just be coming up with like random ass fucking headlines and shit. So what, he would like, I guess he like went to college. He probably grew up hella right wing in like Utah. What happened? He ran into a fucking transgender fucking furry, started becoming more left wing, and then just realized Charlie Kirk was like a piece of shit. What method? Gang, you know what I'm talking about, bro. Cracking a transgender fucking furry, bro.
Talking about the story in real time. There's been a lot of people calling me all kinds of slurs, pulling up to my DMs, commenting nasty, vile, heinous comments like, you know, he would have laughed talking about Charlie if it were you who died on the stage, who got shot in the neck, and would have said you had it coming, right? Well, you're actually just a cowardly Republican that can't admit you're conservative, so you call yourself a centrist. So maybe...
You know what's crazy? I feel like a lot of like leftists really get mad at people who say like, oh, you shouldn't really die for having a difference of opinion. I never said that, bro. I don't really like Charlie Kirk, and from some of the fucking clips that I've seen, I don't respect him. But even then, I can recognize that even if you have a difference of opinion, you shouldn't die over it, especially if you're not a fucking elected official. But he definitely... I'm not gonna lie, if you were a minority, he definitely wouldn't have liked you, though. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Maybe not. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the types of people, apparently, that I'm making content for. Like, I wasn't aware people like this viewed my content. I promise you. No respectable commentator, political or otherwise, or any...
I feel like, bro, most people just don't, like, they understand that. They understand that take, though.
Anybody with basic human decency would laugh at anybody being shot in the neck on stage in front of their wife and kids. But these are apparently the psychos who are out here walking amongst us individuals unsuspectingly. I just don't get it. I wouldn't wish that type of death on my worst enemy, dying like that in front of his own family in such a manner as that. But I guess I'm just different. My morals are different. But here, as we can see, the supposed transgender furry...
That looks like Lil Mabu.
Partner of the shooter, Tyler Robinson, which pretty much lines up with everything else I was talking about in previous videos. The reference to femboy notices...
That's not... I don't think... This doesn't look like a furry to me. This looks like, you know, like those pajamas that that people wear, like it's like a Snuggie or some shit. You know what I'm talking about, right? This looks like like a Snuggie that you wear at home. When I think furry, I think of like the fucking thing that you put over your head, the full suit. That's what I think of when I think of a furry.
Which lines up with everything else I was talking about in previous videos. The reference to femboy notices bulges, ooh woo, what's this? Apparently that's linked to femboy.
Bullet casings found in Tyler Robinson's weapons used to K-word Charlie Kirk had various messages inscribed. Notices bulges, ooh, what's this? What the fuck? Hey, fascist, catch. Oh, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow. If you read this, you're gay, LMAO. I'm not gonna lie, he do look kind of zesty right here, though. In this picture, he do look a little zesty, but that's crazy. Why is he saying if you're reading this, you're gay?
Trans lingo for, you know, guys who are into that type of stuff. As stated in last night's video, I was speculating.
That's what I think of when I think of a furry.
Theorizing that the shooter, Tyler, may have had a femboy, furry type boyfriend or partner, you know, based off of the evidence I was reporting at the time. And as...
What? Is that from saying like the OO shit? Notices bulge / OO, what's this? This is the original meme referenced by Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter.
boyfriend or partner, you know, based off of the evidence I was reporting at the time. And as of now, it has just been confirmed. As according to the New York Post, they say,
good. We watching the shit about Riley. What's good? We watching the shit about the Charlie Kirk shooter. They trying to say that he had a boyfriend that was a fucking furry, so we're just watching a video about it.
Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson lived with transgender partner. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson was living with a transgender partner.
You know what's crazy though? Have you noticed that ever since his identity came out, right? And they found out that he wasn't a fucking minority, when they found out he wasn't gay, well, maybe he was gay, maybe he is gay, right? But you notice how it's like he wasn't transgender himself. So they constantly move the goalpost and they try to find some type of thing to latch onto the left. Have you noticed that? Because he grew up in a very conservative household. He grew up in Utah. He's white. He looks normal. You probably would have never even guessed that, but they always are constantly trying to drop some shit. Like, where's the proof? How long they been dating? Do we have any type of information here? Like, I need to see more receipts, bro. A guy in a fucking, or a transgender, is it transgender woman? Transgender woman, right? Wearing a fucking Snuggie is not a fucking furry, bro. Let's just be real. I need to see some more proof.
Who was in the process of transitioning from male to female, a law enforcement source confirmed to the Post Saturday. That individual, who has yet to be publicly identified by the authorities, is now fully cooperating with the FBI on its investigation into the fatal shooting of the conservative activist, the source added. The relationship was first reported by Fox News' Brooks Singman on Twitter. Credit to Brooks Singman, she was the one to break the story on Twitter. Shout out to her. According to public records, Lance Twiggs, 22, which is the partner, currently transitioning and is also a furry, resided at the same address where Robinson lived. A relative of Twiggs confirmed to the Post Saturday that, and I quote, yes, they were.
Okay, so where's the evidence that they're dating though? Like, okay, they're roommates. Where's the, like, I need to see some fucking receipts.
Were roommates, unquote. And here, as we can see, is a image of the 22-year-old Lance Twiggs. I also found his TikTok page, by the way, of which I'm going to show you now. Here, as we can see, before it obviously gets wiped, his TikTok page by the name of Lance Lodel. So I'm quickly just going to be going through the videos he has on his TikTok page before they get wiped. As you can see, just random content here. Somebody says, so the far right theory just got shattered. Here we have another video. Top comment says, hey, can we get a comment about Tyler's political motivations? And here's another video of him.
I got one of those cookie boxes, but here's the magic part. Watch this. There are actually cookies inside of here, and I've never seen that in my life.
Somebody said in the top comment, did Tyler, quote, notice your bulge? I'm pretty sure they noticed a lot of bulges. Here's another video here. I'm not sure who this is. Is that Tyler?
I guess he just like, so what are y'all thinking? Like, when you see this shit, right? What do you think? Because what I'm thinking is maybe Tyler, because you know, like a lot of people, right? Especially like in white families and shit, their family members, specifically their parents, are right wing, right? So they go to college, and normally they kind of like, even a little bit before college, they start to like explore their politics and shit. And normally they become very left. But with guys, you don't really see that. Guys, you normally see them lean right. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he was leaning right before he went to school. He's pretty socially awkward, so he probably got around the furry fucking femboys and weirdos. They opened him up, pause, not like that. They opened him up to, like, he probably realized, like, damn, like, these people are not what I was told they are. You know what I mean? So he became more open-minded. And then he probably, you know, fell in love or some shit. And then he realized, damn, like, that right-wing shit is really a scam because those people didn't take me in. It was really the weirdos and the outcasts that took me in, because you notice he's a socially awkward guy. And then he probably just, like, his politics probably began to change. And he probably just realized, like, Charlie Kirk was, like, an asshole or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what his motivations are. I don't know. This shit is kind of confusing.
in the back, not entirely sure.
Bro.
So okay, so it's clear as day that this is Tyler's boyfriend, who, based off of what I've heard, he was living in his parents' house and he decided to move in with his boyfriend. And I suppose
I thought they were living in a college dorm. What the heck?
during all that time, the boyfriend decided to try and transition into a woman via hormone replacement therapy, and reportedly Tyler was going back and forth.
Can you even get that in Utah?
Kind of bouncing back and forth between the roommate, who I suppose was living with other people, of which we just saw in that other video, and bouncing back to his parents, back and forth. You know, young people do this all the time. And somehow, some way, according to reports, Tyler, although he came from a Utah-based conservative family who has supported Trump in the past, during his sophomore year, which is 10th grade of high school, he started to become increasingly radicalized towards left-wing ideology. He started becoming incredibly left-wing, and again, the distinction, not liberal, not even moderate left, like extremely left-wing, consuming lots of, dare I say, violent revolutionary rhetoric that can lead someone like Tyler Robinson, who was also suspected to be slightly autistic as well, to committing heinous crimes against people who are on the opposite side. As we all know, Charlie Kirk did not believe in
that kind of makes sense.
the concept of transgenderism. He didn't believe in trans. He only believed in either being male or female. So obviously, for a person like Tyler Robinson, who was suspected to be slightly autistic and likely fell in
Seeing the plot come together, because I have heard those criticisms about Charlie Kirk's politics in the past, because I think I heard like a few TikToks about that, where they're like, oh, y'all feel bad for Charlie Kirk, but he probably took mad lives of like transgender people. Okay.
love with a transgender furry person like this. Of course,
Why you keep saying, bro? Why you keep saying furry? You wear one fucking outfit and you a furry, bro. That's not a furry.
Feelings and loves and emotions and the radicalization of left-wing ideology would likely lead to him plotting and committing heinous acts like assassinating Charlie Kirk or anybody else for that.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. He almost got away with that shit too. I'm not gonna lie. If I was in that situation, I would not have done that dumbass shit. What? Like, what did that accomplish? That really didn't accomplish anything. And it's not even like he's an elected official. Like, if you think about it, right? The whole Charlie Kirk assassination really just ended up cleaning up his image. And people didn't really give a fuck about him. If you really think about it, people didn't give a fuck about him like that, except for his own audience. He was rage baiting college kids. But now when he died, it changed his appearance, and now he looks like a martyr. He looks like he died for the right cause. The radical left strikes again, and they got rid of one of our heroes. You know what I mean? Now we need to rally behind him, and this is a big issue, and we need to go ahead and knock out some of their leaders. And they're like, I'm seeing like AI edits. I have to show you this. Oh my god, I actually responded to one of these. Look at this shit. Look at this. This is a Jesus Christ crying while carrying Charlie Kirk wrapped in a fucking American flag. To my knees and pray. Come, Jesus, come. Let today be the day. This shit is the most, and then I said, look, this is the most delusional shit I have ever seen. You could literally tell a white person made this shit because, oh my god, that shit was just like white Jesus being covered in an American flag. And then look, I'm aware that this is AI, of course, but it has moved me. I can only imagine how Charlie is celebrating. He became a martyr. He became a martyr, bro. This really like made everything worse. If I was Tyler, I wouldn't have done that dumbass shit, bro. I would have just like lived my life. Like when I see shit that I don't like, I just press not interested. Or I just swipe off. I don't fucking sit there and I want to knock somebody off because their politics are different. Because now the state of politics is more divided. People are more divided and they're more set in their ways. This didn't fix anything. It just made things worse.
That matter, who would have been on that stage saying the same things as Charlie Kirk at the time. But Charlie Kirk being in that position, being one of the most prolific political commentators on the right, below that of Trump, would be the prime target for someone like Tyler Robinson. But further in the article, they
was he really the highest though? He's probably the most accessible. because he goes on tours.
Say the family member who asked not to be identified said Twigs, which was the partner, was the, and I quote, black sheep of their St. George, Utah family, but
Do you really think so? Because it looked like he had a normal upbringing from a lot of these images. It didn't look like he was a black sheep. It looked like they were proud of him too, because he kind of gives autistic vibes, but he had a full ride scholarship with like a 4.0 GPA. That's not black sheep.
Say the family member who asked not to be identified said Twigs, which was the partner, was the, and I quote, black sheep of their St. George, Utah family, but declined to speculate on a romantic relationship between the two men. Which tracks. Obviously, people like this, furries who are also transitioning with weird, extreme types of ideologies, are gonna be kind of black sheep in normal society. I mean, good.
Oh wait, they're talking about the furry femboy? I'm not gonna lie, bro. Yeah, that's definitely black sheep activity. I thought they were talking about Tyler.
God, guys, you gotta realize, regular people, moderate people, like myself, aren't fans of all the extreme rhetoric. People just want to make money, take care of their children.
Man, regular people don't give a fuck about this shit. They not emotionally charged behind this shit. I'm not gonna lie. People are like, I didn't even watch, like, bro, before this entire situation, I had only seen that Jubilee fucking, the Jubilee clip where he was smiling and people were cooking his smile. That was the only clip I really seen. Other than that, if I seen something I didn't like, I just swiped away. This is the most screen time I've ever seen from him, bro. Like, most people just go about their life. They live their life. They don't think anything of it. They go to work, they pay their bills, and that's it.
Their wives and girlfriends survive and pay bills. Like, I'm starting to genuinely realize that these people, these types of people who live in this extreme bubble, this echo chamber, don't realize that the majority of
that's exactly what it is, an echo chamber.
People, Americans, or just regular people in the world don't give a fuck about all this. Nobody wants to live in a world full of assassinations. Nobody wants a war, man. People want peace. People want to just live free, peacefully, and have civil discourse and debate.
Because politics isn't about, like, they try to make it about we're good people and the other side isn't, when in reality it's actually not about being a good person. It's just about who you resonate with more. Because if you're on the extreme of either side, you're not a good person at all. It's like rooting for a sports team. You're just rooting for this team to win, you know what I mean, over the other team,
without the fear of getting fucking shot in the head. They also say she said she didn't know her relatives' politics or whether Twigs was transitioning to become a woman, but added that it wouldn't surprise her. So clearly this family member, cousin, sister, aunt, mother, anybody, they revealed her gender, was not surprised by the fact that their own relative was going through this process. The family member said she knew Twigs was brought in for questioning by police. The Post observed Saturday that no one was at the $1,800 per month townhouse Robinson and Twigs were believed to have shared. So looks like whoever was living there abandoned ship.
$1,800 a month for a townhouse? Damn, I might have to move to Utah.
A neighbor claimed 2 weeks ago several people driving cars with out-of-state plates were seen going in and out. 7 cars. Sounds spooky. And I quote, "They did not give off a good vibe," the neighbor said. Sounds like, again, like I said in last night's video, higher forces of which I'm not aware of that I can't see. 7 cars sounds like some Black Ops type shit, I'm not gonna lie. Charlie Kirk,
that shit sounds crazy.
31, was struck in the neck by a single bullet shortly after.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Do we gotta send him to? Can we send him to like Iraq or some shit, bro? Because the fact that he hit a fucking shot from 200 meters out, and he wasn't even accounting for like the physics of the fucking bullet, and he still hit his target. I'm not gonna lie, we could like send him somewhere else, bro.
After being posed a question on his, and I quote,
Yo, King Corn, thank you for that sub, my boy.
KingCorn28 subscribe to your channel for
American
10 months.
Comeback College tour, speaking about transgender mass shooters, which is very ironic given the situation. He said, and I quote, "Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Asked attendee Hunter Kozak. So that question came from somebody asking Charlie. Charlie then
he might not even live. He's probably gonna get the death penalty, bro.
And responded back by saying, and I quote, "Too many." Then the questioner Kozak followed up by saying, "Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years. Then Charlie responded back by saying, counting or not counting gang violence. And then after that is when the shooter took his shot. Bang. And I swear, ladies and gentlemen, the irony of the entire situation involving a male to female transitioning furry who was also the boyfriend of the shooter, Tyler Robinson, speaks volumes.
Looking at him now, it kind of checks out. It checks out.
And for anybody watching this video who've gotten this far, who wants to keep living in delusion and just not accepting reality for what it is, then I don't know what else to say. You've seen all the content, you've seen all the...
It really depends on his charges because they can really dump so many charges on him. That's exactly what they're going to do, bro. I'm not going to lie, this whole administration, they're going to use Tyler Robinson as a way to try to, like, fix their PR, bro. Because before this entire situation, if you realize, bro, people weren't really rocking with Trump and everything that they had going on. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't bring that shit up. Now they're using this to rally under one fucking thing, and then they're gonna blame the radical left and all that shit, bro. They're gonna use this entire situation. It's already mad performative, bro. Like, they got JD Vance walking out with Charlie Kirk's fucking casket, bro, acting like he's a fucking war hero. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. They're paying respects at his grave site. They're murals. Hold on, I'm trying to see the fucking look. This is his casket. They're treating him like a fucking war hero, bro. Does this not feel performative? Does this not feel like they're using this to try to, like, win win people over again, bro? Yo, what's good? You know what I'm saying?
Videos, you've seen all the reports. At this point, I'm kind of like beating a dead horse. If you can't accept it for what it is and what the situation is, then I can't help you any further. You're beyond reproach. Pretty much a lost cause, you know? The article goes on to say that as a self-professed evangelical Christian, Kirk criticized the goals of the LGBTQ agenda.
Wait, what? Kirk was immediately shot at Kirk criticized the goals of...
Expressed opposition to same-sex marriages and spoke out against gender reassignment surgeries and procedures. But he usually spoke about these issues with kindness and empathy, which tracks because I've seen some of the videos. Like this clip right here of Charlie speaking to a gay young man struggling with his identity in politics.
I'm a gay conservative, and I just want to kind of ask you, like, what do you have to say for people like me who kind of feel like, I guess, it's kind of hard for gay conservatives because there's not a lot of us. So, like, what do you have to say to other gay people who need to...
Are you gay and conservative? That's like a contradiction, bro. Flex and Peace, thank you for the follow.
Realize, like, they do have a choice.
Yeah, first of all, welcome to the conservative movement. I don't think you should introduce yourself just based on your sexual attractions.
No, I agree. I like,
because that's not who you are.
I like to be thought of as a person, and
for sure, you are a complete human being, and I'm sure you treat people well, and you're studying something. So I want to get away with this idea that you're gay anything. I just think that we have gone a long way in the negative direction in this country, where we act as if the most important part of your identity is what you do in the bedroom. It doesn't mean that much to me, but if you ask from a perspective as a Christian, I don't agree with that lifestyle, but politics is about addition and multiplication. I imagine you agree with a lot of what we talk about.
Absolutely.
Right? Strong borders, strong country, and for that, you know, we welcome you into the conservative movement.
Thank you.
Now, after watching that, how could anyone sit here and honestly say that that man deserved to die? And honestly, after the events that have been happening all week, I can safely say that I would never do what Charlie did. He's a much better man than I ever will be because I'm not risking my lives to talk to freaks and weirdos who don't even want to have a debate or civil discourse.
I mean, he's going to... Bro, come on, bro. Acting like he's some kind of hero is crazy. Like, deadass. Bro, he's literally doing the method that all these other conservative people do. They just go and they debate college kids and they run circles around them because they actually know how to debate and the college kids don't, and they make them look stupid and they try to justify it for why they're right. Now, I'm not gonna lie though, I feel like Tyler Robinson trying to like knock off Charlie Kirk is stupid because he was about to have a debate with Hassan Abi, and that would have been one of the most like televised debates because Hassan he knows what he's talking about, and he's not like in terms of if you compare him to a fucking college kid. I don't even agree with Hassan at all with his shit. But if you get him and then you get Charlie Kirk and they actually have a full-blown debate, then that's going to be a lot more of a fair fucking playing field than, you know what I mean? Than him just debating nobody. So why the fuck would he even kill him in the first place? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, it didn't accomplish anything. Like, it just actually made the whole situation worse, bro, if you think about it. Yeah, I don't think that Charlie was a good guy. I'm going to keep it a buck. Because he was talking about how civil rights was like a scam and all that type of shit. I don't agree with any of that shit. I don't agree with a lot of the crazy shit that he said. I don't agree with it. But I don't feel like he should have got shot in the fucking neck for that. That's where I disagree with a lot of people. People were like celebrating that shit. I'm like, nah, I don't think that shit is cool. Should he got his ass beat? That's a whole different story. I don't think anybody should get shot, though.
Of course, with me, who when I die and get assassinated will share and
That photo made me hard. What?
laugh at me because we had differing opinions. Here's another clip of Charlie explaining his message and why he did what he did.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country.
Is he wearing an ice hat?
To find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assault, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in all this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put it on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens. Because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.
Honestly, all I'll say is, man, at the moment, I'm not feeling good. And yeah, this is probably going to be the last video on this specific topic I'll be talking about, because pretty much the motive is clear. We get it. Tyler Robinson, gay, furry, trans boyfriend, understandable. Radical.
I want to see what's going to happen to him. You think they're going to murk him, bro? You think they're going to knock him off?
Revolutionary left.
Yeah, I'm done. That shit's crazy. I'm going to drop a like on this, man. This was a good video.